In the dplyr library, you use the mutate function to add new variables to an existing data frame. This is the data set we'll be working with, and to start off with, we're just going to add one new variable based on a calculation of two columns that are in the existing data frame. So to do that, we're going to take the data, pipe it to mutate, and then what you do is you pass the name of the new column you want to make first. So we're going to make a new column named full weight. And then after the equal sign, you just put in whatever value you want this new column to have, which can be a calculation based on other columns or the output of functions based on other columns. In this case, we're just going to set it equal to the weight column times 1000 because all this weight column is actually telling us is the amount of pounds for each car in thousands. So that's why it's called full weight, because this is the actual number of pounds for each car instead of it being in terms of thousands. So we'll just run this and scroll down to confirm we did create a new column called full weight. Now you can use mutate to create multiple new columns at the same time by separating different operations in the same mutate call. So I'll show how to do that below. We're going to be creating the same full weight column again. So we're piping data into mutate. We're creating that full weight column, but then we're saying, comma, we want to create another new column. In this case, we're going to create another column called HP per sil, supposed to be sil, and that's just going to be the amount of horsepower per cylinder for each car. So we'll run that, and we can see that we, in this case, created two new columns, that full weight column plus this new horsepower per cylinder column. And as I alluded to earlier, you can create columns based on the output of a function run on existing columns. So in this case, we're going to create a new column called MPG category, and we're going to set it equal to the output of a function call. In this case, it's going to be the if-else function. We're saying if the MPG is greater than 22, we're going to say the category is high. If it's greater than 15, we're going to say it's medium, and if it's not either of those, it's low. So we're basically creating a new categorical variable based on the MPG column that will group all these cars into categories based on generally how good their MPG is. You can see we have cars that are medium MPG cars, high MPG, and low MPG. Now, there are many useful functions in dplyr you can use to create new columns like this other than if-else. I'm not going to provide an exhaustive list of those here, but you can do things such as create lagging and leading values, doing rankings, and finding cumulative values within variables. I'll leave a link to the documentation for mutate here, which provides a list of some of these functions that are potentially useful to run within your mutate calls. Now, sometimes you'll get data in a format where you actually have multiple variables in the same column. In this case, you may want to actually separate those values into multiple columns. And conversely, you may have cases where you actually have multiple columns that are unnecessary and you actually want to combine into a single column. So in the next lesson, we're going to go over how to do that in dplyr using the separate and unite functions. See you next time.